I've had treatment infusions. So I've been on biologics where my treatment was an infusion every 4 weeks or every 8 weeks through IV. My infusions usually take from start to finish, being there, getting prepped, and then being able to go home anywhere between an hour and a half. But depending on the medication you're on, that could be multiple hours as well.
Remicade is an IV infusion. It's a biologic medication that I receive every 8 weeks, but the frequency can change based on what your doctor thinks that you need. So I'd go into the hospital, get the medication, and then every 8 weeks I would return. When you're first starting with the medication, it's more frequent, and then it gets longer.
I didn't have to do any sort of prep beforehand, but once I got in there, the infusion would be about 3 hours, I want to say.
Every 4 weeks, I go to a clinic, and the nurses try very hard to find a vein, and then essentially it's a drip. So like you would see in a hospital, the bag that has the medication, and it drips through a line into my bloodstream. And by getting it directly into the bloodstream, it eliminates any risk of my body not absorbing it. I initially started my infusions every 8 weeks, which is the standard protocol for Entyvio. And the approach is that if it seems to be working, but it's just not quite there, then you can also move to a 6-week or a 4-week dose. In my case, my gastroenterologist jumped right to a 4-week. And so that means that I went from doing every 8 weeks to doing every 4 weeks at the infusion clinic.
I've also had infusions that were not drug specific related, but for example, infusions for iron. So I don't absorb iron like most folks do, which is through the gut. So because of that, me taking iron supplements doesn't actually do anything for my iron levels at all. So instead, I need to go for infusions where I'm given liquid iron, and that's infused through IV in a vein as well.
So I get a bit of a cocktail with my infusion. So I get my Entyvio, but I also get a steroid with it to help make sure that my body doesn't reject it. And steroids are magical and make me feel great. So immediately following my infusion, I think it's the combination of the steroid and the infusion, but I always feel fantastic for about 4 days. Like I leave there and I know to schedule things that require like a lot of energy in those 4 days because I can get so much done, and that's when I feel the best.
I typically don't feel any different before to afterwards. I'm still able to go to work, go to school. I could exercise afterwards. It doesn't make you feel badly, for me at least.